searching the dark side of the mountain. Through my bones and hair and blood, words rise and cold snatched from my mouth to sink them into the cold black mud.
Howdy, everybody. I'm Scott. My pronouns are he, him, and this is ZealZaddy. We are playing Old Gods of Appalachia tonight. The title is The Infinality of Death. Not a real word, but I want to make it one. It's such an interesting combination. You can follow us everywhere at ZealZaddy or at ZealZaddy RPG on TikTok. Check out our D&D and Cypher supplements. They are on DriveThruRPG, and there are some pay what you will, play what you want ones, and there's a couple that are paid. There are quite a bit for D&D at the moment, although we're very quickly trying to get everything converted over to Cypher. You can use the clip command. I always love to see the clips that get made. The opening and closing music, they are by OBP Musical, and the singer is Melody McClellan, and the composer was Nico Rhodes. The Old Gods of Appalachia game, it was created by Monte Cook Games, who we love a lot of their product. We have other Monte Cook games coming up this year we're going to be running and playing. And the Old Gods of Appalachia stream podcast is by DeepNerd Media, who we love their podcast. It is the inspiration for so much of what's already going on here. I heard one of my dogs just go, like he's heard something. So be prepared for bark. You could come at any moment. Let's bring everybody on and get everybody introduced. All right, why don't we start? Who are we going to start with tonight? Why don't we start with Father Bartimaeus?
Hello, everybody. My name is Grimm. You can find me on the internet at empathic_Grimm at most places. I am a game designer and game reviewer by trade. I am also very happy to be here again playing Father Bartimaeus for everybody. He is a cursed speaker who possesses the gift. And yeah, let's have some fun tonight.
All right, Robby. Not Robbie, Walt.
Yeah, get my name right. Evening, everybody. My name is Robby Weiss, and I am back with a voice this week. Last week I was a little under the weather, but looking forward to. I was under the weather last week. I'm under the ground this week, so there's that. Anyway, I am a one-time podcaster, now full-time player and goofing around with nerdy stuff guy. If you want to follow the goofy things that I do randomly here and there, which is now going to include beekeeping because life imitates art, you can check me out at the Linktree Weiss_Robby.
Are you going to have like a live cami or bees and stuff soon?
I should make a Twitch stream for it. That'd be hilarious.
You ought to. It'd be amazing.
I'm hoping that it would be more popular than the Panda Cam.
That's a challenge. That's a challenge.
Yeah.
Tegan.
Doing the worm onto the scene. Tegan is a perceptive tinkerer who crafts powerful objects and is about to worm dance off this giant thing that's coming down at them, and is played by Kayla. You may also know me as Just K, some version of that, depending on when I started on the internet at that point in that system. I'm also the general manager over at Underground Oracle Publishing. If you would like to see tons of crazy things, both from Underground Oracle, with our new settings coming out in the Cypher System, any of our many volume collections of Cypher shorts in tons of different genres, including the upcoming Dark Supers one that we'll be starting. Check that out. If you also just want things that I consider too chaotic for UO, and if you know UO, then that says something. You can check out my own stuff at any time with any of those links that are provided there in the chat. Otherwise, yeah, let's get this dance off going with the swerve.
All right, and Professor Hayes.
Hello, everybody. My name is Brandon Hall. You can find me on social media on Blue Sky at brandon@rpgatc.com. Playing Professor Erwin Hayes, the shifty speaker who speaks in tongues. Really looking forward to this session. And for any shout outs, I just wanted to give one to the Knights of Dust and Neon from Monte Cook Games on BackerKit. It's got just under 72 hours left. So we're really close to the 2,000 person stretch goal. So, and it looks amazing. So do check it out if you haven't yet.
All right, and Benny.
Hello, I am Nekola, aka Nekola the Druid on all the social places. Most of the time you can find me over at Diversity Saves, which is a 501c3 nonprofit. We help creators from marginalized communities to create and publish, and right now we're creating some workshops and things for new creators. So check us out at diversitysaves.org. But tonight I am Benny, the hardy explorer who becomes the beast. And I'm very excited. And also just realizing, I think last week we went a whole session without going to that lady's house for the first time this entire campaign.
I knew we were missing
Gazzy.
something.
Gazzy's going to be in the
A
mine.
whole session without...
Well, where did this strange house in the mines come from?
Oh, I just picture her coming, Leroy Jenkins.
Weirdly, it's got some big chicken legs under it.
Yeah.
You just
Horses.
hear the sounds. Yeah,
You hear the
sounds
some of the
of
horses.
yeah.
Well, before I
so
get
much.
into my monologue, I want to say pay attention to some of the stuff going on ZealZaddy. We have got something in the works. It's going to be, I think, kind of a big thing, not a game product. It will be our first charity stream. We are working very hard on setting it up, and it will be very unique. I can tell you there has not been one like it probably ever. Nekola is helping me out with it, who knows everything about doing proper charities. And it will happen in, the stream itself will happen in October. It takes that much time to build and plan what we're going to do. And it's going to be insane. So keep an eye out. Things are coming. Big things are coming. I know I've been a little quiet on social media. Part of it's just been, well, exhaustion, part of it. But part of it's also been working on some things in the back that have kept me very occupied. Back to Old Gods, though. Welcome back, family. Plants are rarely seen as adversary. But few plants are ever known to steal away people and use them in the ways the worms running the veins of the liar's coal mines do. The party of worm grunters may discover how dangerous a little worm call can be tonight. It could be to the town folks' benefit to be drunk, though, because it's said you don't feel pain so much when you're deeply intoxicated. Could that be tested in a place where two creatures or beasts or things of the ancient world exist in tandem? Or is that in opposition? When last we left, we were in the coal mines with a worm bearing down from above, looking like it was disinterested in speaking English. But you never know, it might speak English. And from above, a huge circle is, say huge, it's not like a dune worm. It's a big worm, but it ain't that. Is above and moving down quickly from the heights. And can I get initiative rolls from everyone?
No.
That is a lucky 13 for Walter.
Well, now I do know that Tegan is
19.
actually not under the worm. Tegan is exploring the side mine cave.
Benny is.
Oh, Benny is.
No, that was
not,
Benny.
Not
Benny's back.
Benny.
Yeah,
I
was
did come back before the end of the game.
Yeah, I was
Benny
like,
did come back.
Right. Did
I
come back
am
and said,
under
"There's
the
a
worm."
way out."
Yeah.
Word.
All right. Let me get those numbers. I did not hear them.
19.
13 for Walter.
A
19
what?
for Bartimaeus.
What'd you get, Walter?
13.
And what'd you get, Walter Mass?
19.
What'd you get, Benny?
10.
Irwin?
Also 10.
And Tegan.
A nice healthy 6.
We're gonna do great.
It's gonna
No!
be fine. It'll be
I'm
fine.
gonna die.
It's gonna be fine.
Oh my god.
I actually need some dice. Not to roll a hit. I need it for other things. It is a rare, wonderful opportunity to get to use dice in this particular game because it is so rare for the DM to get those opportunities. I feel privileged to have dice in my hands again for the first time.
I feel like we're supposed to feel happy for you and this moment you're having.
No,
Um,
you don't have to feel happy
No.
for me.
Yeah.
All right, so. Oh, I had the wrong order. Father Bartimaeus, you may go first. This worm is coming down. The cave floor is crumbled rocks and stuff like that. And there were worms trying to attach to you or wrap up your feet. You, of course, made yourself a little circle of protection of a sort.
So, saw Benny come back. Benny said that there was safety that way.
I'm not sure safety was the exact word,
A
but
way out. There was a way out that way. Great.
hold
but
on
we
one
also
moment.
have
Dogs just went off.
but we also have Walt's daughter.
Right.
We're gonna put her in the pod.
Yeah, because the last
Yeah.
thing I did was scream, run, and start.
Right.
Sorry, dogs went nuts.
So, because
At
Bartimaeus
nothing.
is in much better shape right now than Walt is. He's gonna scoop up Walt's daughter and start running towards where Benny is.
So you're going to exit your circle of protection and start crossing this big cavern you're in.
Yep, I have my last vial of holy oil. I'm popping the top, and just right in front of my feet, shake, 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 shake.
All right. So she does not hold on to you. She does not have the strength to
Yep.
actually grasp. Her arms just sort of fall to the sides,
Yep.
and her legs hang low, her feet hang low over your shoulders. What is your strength, if you don't mind me asking?
I have a 12 strength.
All right. Good thing is it's a thin girl and a younger one at that, so you're able to lift up and take off quickly. Walt, what are you doing when you see him lift?
Just for clarification, was Evie laying on the ground when he scooped her up, or was she in my arms?
Well, that's a good question.
Assume that she was in my arms. So I guess I feel as though I would have been
So-
surprised by.
Would you let that happen?
I feel like I wouldn't.
So there's a bit of a scramble, actually, as he tries to get to you. And
we need to go. Taking her with us, we need to go.
So do you let Walt continue the carrying and lead the way?
I think when you try to pick her up, I think I would respond with keep your hands off my daughter. Clear the way. I'll carry her.
You can't even carry yourself. Come on.
How far down are you?
In terms of health and things,
Yeah.
I'm actually not too bad off.
Oh, you'd be all right then.
Okay.
And you're strong enough.
So I think Walter would give you kind of a look of like hesitant appreciation, but also to keep your hands
Fair
to
enough.
yourself.
Fair enough. I tried. We're going.
Just clear the way.
Again, in that case, I'm taking my holy oil and doing a better job of clearing a path towards the lip of the bowl where Benny was last seen.
All right, so you're clearing the way. Walt is right behind you. Luckily,
Yep.
initiative was right there. And by the way, when your initiatives are that close, you may coordinate what you're doing anyhow. But now it is actually the worm's opportunity to enact its concerns over this kidnapping, or worm napping, I suppose, is now the appropriate term. Tegan, you have this thing coming down on you where you're at. What would you like to do? Would you like to make me a defense roll, please?
Would I? What kind of defense roll am I making?
You are getting out of the way, I assume. Unless you have another way of defending that you would like to choose. Let's put that Red Bull to a test.
That
5-hour energy.
depends. That depends on a question I have.
Okay.
So, Quick Bind says that I may do it in response to being attacked.
This would be the case.
If I drop all 3 levels of effort into it just right off the bat, would you allow me to apply it to the worm? Because it does have a...
Can you read me the
size-
restrictions?
Yeah, it says you surround a foe of your size or smaller with scintillating energy,
It's
keeping
bigger
it from
than you.
moving. Yeah, that's what I was like. If I drop all 3 effort, because this one doesn't have an up. I guess upcast is the best phrase. But if I just drop all 3 levels of effort right at the beginning of this session, can I apply it even if it's for like a smaller duration of time? Because it's for 1 minute typically.
I would definitely not allow it for a minute. I'll give you 10 seconds of it.
Okay, yeah, I'm
Why
gonna
not?
do
That
it.
sounds fun.
I'm gonna just instinctually just raise my hand and be like.
And what is the effect it has on this poor creature full of family love?
So it keeps it from moving or acting as if frozen solid. While bound, though, it is impervious to harm and cannot be moved and is immune to all effects. But it's just
All right.
like paused enough to let people.
I'm
start
going to say it
running.
is not frozen. It is just immobilized in its ability to move about. But the front of the thing can kind of move a little bit back and forth as it studies what's happening here. You have got it confused and confounded for a moment, and you're not sure how long it's going to last, although I shouldn't have said 10 seconds, but...
He's just yelling, "Run, go, go."
So yours going to stand under it and maintain this moment of control. All right. That is a very interesting action. That leaves us with Benny and Erwin both at the same time. What would the two of you like to do? You see Tegan do this. You see Father Bartimaeus and Walter take off, heading across the caverns. I don't want to say out yet because that ain't where it is at the moment.
Remind me if can I take an action and move a long distance, or is a long distance my action?
A long distance is your action.
Okay, cool.
Unless you have an ability that does something, because you've got a lot of new abilities.
What is Erwin doing?
You may
He's a
coordinate.
little crazy.
Erwin's going to look at Tegan and say, "Do we blow this thing up? How do I like this thing?" And start gesturing towards your bomb.
Run! Fire!
Okay. And he starts to run towards the exit.
All right.
Full movement. Full turn towards movement.
All right, Benny, what are you doing?
Okay.
Erwin
Benny-
begins to flee.
Yeah, Benny is also fleeing, but Benny is transforming as she runs, which is a thing I can do because
Sweet.
I have fleet of foot. I have
Love
fleet of foot, which allows me to move a short distance as part of another action.
Oh, nice.
So that and transform into a catamount, which basically in present day terms is a mountain lion. Or like a puma, something like that.
Correct.
A catamount.
Yeah.
And Benny is attempting to because she sent them that direction, she didn't give them instructions. So she is attempting to be very fast. Catamounts very fast,
Yeah.
up to 60 miles an hour.
You will get out ahead.
She's
of the
attempting to
other
get
two.
ahead of everybody to guide them out.
Yeah, I don't want to say immediately, as you were going, you get out ahead of them. Or actually, because you have to take a short run, you can't do a full yet. You would be right about where they are, maybe a little behind them as you transform. It takes some of your speed to do that. That's why you can't do a full run.
Right.
So you're going to end up a little bit
Right.
behind them probably because they took off a little ahead of you and they're going full runs. So
But I'm also a cat.
Yeah,
so
you'll go
that's
past.
that was the main point.
Yep. Nice.
That was the main point.
So, Tegan, while you were under there, no one else sees this, only you. The front of this thing opens up like a flower petal, and you see arms reaching out for you from inside its maw, for lack of a grosser term, just a maw and it opens and then the hands reach out towards you. They don't come lower yet, but you can see they are interested in you.
Good. I'm good.
Can I make an interruption to just like gag?
Bad touch. Bad touch.
Well, we are back to 19. Father Bartimaeus, what are you doing now? Are you just continuing to run and hold the line?
So that depends on what my turn buddy is doing.
Running. Who's faster, actually? Well, Walter, even if Walter had a higher speed, he's carrying a body. He would not
Yeah,
be as
I'm
fast.
waiting for sure.
So I'd say he's a little slower than you.
I am keeping pace with him, though.
So you're actually slowing a little bit to make
Yeah.
sure you don't get out too far ahead.
That way, if he needs help, or if there's someone with the climbing, or someone has to hold on to EV.
Well, the one
I'm
good
right
thing
there
that
for it.
happens from that slowing up is you start to notice that there is writhing on the floor up ahead of you. The smaller worms are starting to close in on the path you were taking. Some of the smaller ones, you don't know how many there are, but there are some for sure. And right behind Walt, you see a panther of some sort. in transformation form, in the middle of transforming to one.
I was so confused there for a second. Where the fuck did a panther come from?
Well, you look back to see where Walter was, so you also happened to see Benny was transforming into a beast. A beast you didn't know Benny could become.
That's a new one.
Good thing is, Benny's not a werewolf. Because werewolves only go to wolves.
Yeah. Yep. That's a. It is not.
It would be like a werebear because.
Yeah, you could have been a werebear.
Yeah, werebear.
Well, now we know it's not that. It's just all animals, apparently, or at least
So
predators.
are you going to do anything about the worms, or just try and make sure that there's a place for you to leap or run or whatever to get past them as they go?
I am doing my best to make sure that there is an easy path for Walter to follow so that he and Evie can get out.
All right. Walter, what I assume you are just running behind.
I am.
Are you doing
And,
anything else? You see
yeah,
the worms up ahead starting to coalesce along this exit.
Okay. I think I want to take a quick peek back behind me and see, just as I'm running, like, take a quick peek. And am I able to see what Tegan's doing?
Yes, Tegan's hands are up, and it is like she is magicking this thing where it is, and this is the moment you see all these arms reaching out from its maw. And it's almost like it's trying to frighten Tegan more than attack.
So, I think over the last few days, I think the relationship that I have had with Tegan has truly grown into, like, best friendship kind of thing. We got each other's back. And in seeing the arms outstretching toward Tegan, and after having Father Bartimaeus already once try to offer to take Evie, Walter is going to have a moment of shit. And I'm gonna yell to Father Bartimaeus, Father!
Turns.
Damn it, take her!
Takes the child.
And I am going to 180 and go back
Past
to
a
get
panther.
Tegan. Past a panther. At this point, nothing surprises me. If it don't claw at me, I ain't bothered with it.
All right. So, since you'd only move one move away, you will be able to move one move back and be back where Tegan is. You won't have any ability to do it much yet, but you'll at least have the two of you when the next turn comes around.
Okay. This is a silly question, but I don't know the answer to it. Is there a way, either by expelling effort or XP, to purchase an action to help in this situation? Like an action surge, if you will.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember ever seeing one in there. Erwin, do you happen to remember if there's something like that is... Like, I don't remember reading a rule about anything like that.
You could try to twist it into a player intrusion if you wanted to, at your discretion.
Yes, there you go. A player intrusion.
Okay, I like that.
Pay the XP.
Okay. Is that player intrusions? Are they only one, or is that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just one. Okay. Yes, I'm going to make a player intrusion on my own turn. I'm going to intrude on my own turn,
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'm gonna basically run straight up to Tegan, and I said, "You're not dying down here." And I'm gonna join her in attempting to push away or put at bay this worm. And I'm also going to use Quick Bind in 3 levels of effort.
Oh.
I'm going to send an entire swarm of bees at this thing.
Which you happen to have
like
nearby.
a flower.
I've got 2 swarms of bees with me right now.
You do. So the swarms coalesce and begin their stinging operations while you're under there. What are you doing while? So what is the function of your action? Do you stay there? Do you call them and then leave? Like, describe the scene to me. How you want it to play out.
Walter's gonna run up there to Tegan, and in our last session, I mentioned that Walter had basically stuck his hand in the wall where the other hive of bees was, and he cajoled them onto his person. So he has like this luscious non-fur coat of bees, and he is basically like doing this thing where he's almost making a fist up at this thing, and they're kind of swirling around his arm and base in like forming a jet of bees into this the maw and arms and whatever else is coming out of this world.
Love it. There is definitely some goo building up inside between the hands, and the bees fly up and start swarming and stinging at the arms, and you can feel it pulsing like it's trying to close. And you hear, "Walter, is that you?"
What?
And you know that voice. Can we? All right. Benny, what are you and Erwin doing?
Oh my god.
Benny, you and Erwin
Did
are
y'all
at the same time.
Like, realize this was going to happen?
Only Tegan and Walter.
Did you
were able
not
to hear
realize that she was going up here?
No, of course she was gonna appear.
Of course she was going to appear. Anyways, okay, I vaguely heard panther. That wasn't me. That was the worm, right? The worm is now a panther?
No. You're a catamount. That was just
Oh.
making. I don't think they would know what
Excuse
a
me,
catamount
I'm a catamount.
is. Are you offended by it?
No, I was like,
Actually.
no. My real life panther started doing some weird crap with my computer, with like my desk. And so I was trying to stop things from falling, and then I heard, and then becomes a panther. And I'm like,
Your cat
is it trying to copy me?
Your cat is a science nerd and will not put up with incorrect
she's
animal identification.
Well, I mean, what she's trying to do is fit in a 3-inch box.
As every
repeatedly.
cat.
Anyways.
One of the special skills of a catamount.
It is. Oh, I could fit in a box. I could fit in a 3-inch box. Anyways, what are you doing, Erwin? Are you just running?
I see Walter run by, and I was gonna look back anyway and see Tegan face to face with this worm, and he starts muttering under his breath, and I was gonna try to do a player intrusion as well. I have this, I don't know if it'll work or not, but I have this damper ability where I can hinder the actions of any number of targets within short range, but they have to understand me. So what I was picturing is I take out my book and I start speaking in tongues in this language that maybe the worm understands, maybe it doesn't, and try to hinder its actions for a turn.
I'll give you a Do you have the ability to use magic? I'm assuming you do at this point. You didn't before.
I do. Yep, I'm trained in it.
All right. You can make a roll for that.
Okay. Excellent. I'll put 2 levels of effort into it.
Okay.
He's shouting very vigorously. Oh, nat 20.
So you all hear Erwin, maybe for the first time, yell. Have we ever heard you yell?
No.
Yeah.
What is your yell like?
Well, and this time it's in tongues, so it's still incredibly. It's like a soft spoken. It's not a very intimidating yell, but he just starts speaking very loudly in a slightly high pitched voice in this strange language. It fills probably the chamber around, and maybe that adds some depth and cool factor to it, but
Yeah.
just a little bit, not a lot.
Father Bartimaeus, you think you've heard words like that in previous encounters in your past, things that would not be considered goodly.
First task, get the children out.
Okay.
Then come back and worry about everything else.
So you do these words of binding that you believe are going to function, and from the worm, black ichor rolls out and sort of hardens on the edge, and it's almost like you pulled out a glue that bound on its outside, and it's inside its mouth, for lack of a better word, more like Ringo arms. And the bees, it was trying to close its mouth, and it cannot now. And the bees are able to sting all over the arms of those in there that are stuck or part of. And the two of you heard that happen, and you saw this thing just stop, almost like a glue stuck onto it, holding it fast. Benny, what are you doing?
Firstly, between Bartimaeus and the exit, you said there were little baby worms.
Yeah.
Are they actually in the way? Is it look like
They seem to be coming
next
toward the
time
group
he
as they're coming,
moves?
but they're not particularly fast.
Does it look like as he's going to run past, there's going to be a problem? Like they're going to try and grab him as he passes?
Yes, that is what it looks like they're going to try and do.
Okay, cool. All right, so Fleet of Foot is going to come in handy again. Because with a level of effort, I can move a long distance and make an attack, but the attack is hindered, which is fine.
All right.
But I'm going to attempt to bypass him to be leading him.
You can definitely do that.
But also, bite one of the worms and just throw it out of the way.
Cat kill kind of thing.
Yes.
All right, I'll give you that.
Just to try and ease the thing.
That seems very catamounty.
It does. So, Joy, but I don't think I need to roll for that. It just happens, right?
You don't have to roll to get around Father Bartimaeus.
Yeah, you're gonna make me roll for that dang attack. It's fine.
You're an excellent attacker.
Right. Yeah, but I still gotta roll for it. I'm trying to talk you out of making me roll for it.
No, I'm going to make you roll for it.
I know, but it's
I'm not going to be talking out of it. You are using some effort, that's for sure. You're probably going to get a really high roll or a 1.
Did I just roll a 20? I did. All right.
Your attack is furious and beastly.
I don't know how to make a cat growl. Pretend I didn't do that. That was embarrassing.
That was not embarrassing. That may have been how it sounded. So you're able to tear at this thing, and they're not particularly heavy, and you sling it away. As you sling it away, you realize that there was like a webbing that comes out of it and spews all over the ground, and that's when you realize the ground has sticky webbing in the area here. And they were trying to make a trap, it looks like. But Father Bartimaeus don't know that, so don't tell him, because you can't speak English at the moment.
No, I didn't spend that many points. Okay, cool. I guess that ends my turn.
I mean, you would have more movement, but yeah, I mean that attack was pretty big.
Full distance.
Oh, okay.
Full as
All right.
much movement as I can to show that, get directing towards, because if I remember correctly, it's a tunnel, but there's
you got to climb
a little
up
bit
a little
of turning,
edge.
and then
the
goal is to take him all the way to the ladder, because
Yes.
that was where I saw the minecart.
Correct.
Yes.
All right, so you see this catamount pass you with such agility, and then ferociously tear apart one of the worms, discarding it quickly. And it goes past, and then you see it looks like it is trying to find a course through safely. So like you were leading Walter through, now the catamount is leading you through.
So I'm going to go ahead and actually let Benny figure out the way, because we've been over. Bartimaeus is not the directions guy.
Good call. Tegan, oh, sorry.
In return, while that's kind of going on, just kind of make it easier, I am going to go ahead and do a Shake the Bones attack at... Do the worms count as a unit together of something? Is it like a swarm of worms where there's hit the entire swarm with the Shake the Bones?
No, it don't do it like that.
That's fair. That's what I'd try. Why not?
Does the entity need bones in order for that to work?
That is a good
Never
question.
mind, I didn't ask that.
I mean, they're made out of dead
What
bodies.
have you done?
I would like to
now
point
I need
out
to
we
know.
know they're made out of dead bodies.
Right, they're made out of
They
dead
have
bodies. I'm
bones.
assuming there's bone in them still. We saw fingers in one.
Hand
one
in
was a
another.
partial hand.
At least parts of them have bones.
Right. I'm gonna find the largest of these worms and do a Shake the Bones at it. Power of Christ compel ye.
Let's see.
Spend the point. And that is an 18.
It does not say that you need bones, from what I can tell. Bones? I don't think you actually need bones. I think it is just a figure of speech. Hear and understand you? Well, they do have to hear.
There's bones in his fingers. He's wagging it.
Actually, it will not work on them because they need to
But
hear
they
and
don't
understand
understand.
you.
Okay. Do I notice it not connect?
Yes, I will give you that.
Okay, that's fair. That's information that's worth the point.
Tegan, what are you doing now that you have Walter here? You are standing together under this thing. That black ichor, hardened inside its maw while you're there, and you hear Erwin saying, muttering things of the devil or something.
Well, now that I'm even more up close and personal with this worm that's trying to give me a firm handshake, so I have this weak spot ability that if I could see a creature, I know if it has a special weakness, vulnerability, or negative modification. Does the giant worm have a special weakness, vulnerability, or negative modification?
It is vulnerable when its mouth is open.
Okay, that's awesome because
It
that
looks
apparently I'm-
like soft, fleshier part of it than the
Yeah,
outside.
yeah.
That's all.
So we also know that the weird ichor stuff is highly flammable. So I think Tegan's gonna like take off her vest and rip it in half and just light both halves on fire and throw them into the biggest ichor piles she can see. Because if I can't set the fuse, I'm gonna set the room on fire, so eventually it will blow up.
All right. So you're taking off your vest. I'm not sure you'd have time to tear it in half and all that kind of stuff if you want to get it done quick. Although it feels like it's being held kind of okay at the moment, but it's only been a moment.
If I can't rip it in half, I'll just ball it up and just toss it at the biggest pile of black ichor, because I just want to set the room on fire.
You're lighting it first, or you're throwing it and then you're going to light it with like
lighting it
dynamite
on
or something?
fire and then probably burning myself and then heating it into
All
the
right.
biggest pile.
Well, the biggest pile probably is right under it now. Where it had dripped out some is it opened its maw.
So right where I am, so there's not a lot of throwing going on.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest, most obvious place, but there are other places where there are spots of ichor all over in here too, and pools everywhere. So I'd give you here, or you could pick, one of the pools of ichor or what have you, because they're all over the place too.
Yeah. I'll pick the one in front of us, and then, because I mean that's definitely gonna catch on fire. Because I can't be so terrible that I can miss the giant one.
I
in
wouldn't
front
even
of
make
me.
you roll to do that one. It's right there.
And I think just for funsies, no, I'll save my hat for later as we're leaving as kind of like a last ditch thing. Can I, if I take half my movement instead of a full movement after my action, can I drag Walter with me towards the tunnel exit?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Just like
Walter, do you allow yourself to be dragged? Be taken, pulled away from here when the fire starts?
In how quick of succession do I hear my wife's voice to when the room catches fire?
Well, it'll be an ichor pile in front of you that will catch fire. It was 3-4 seconds before. And then the ichor up in it hardened up when Professor Irwin spoke the devil's tongue.
Okay, yeah, I think I would be caught off guard and would have no ability to withstand being dragged, at least outside of the fire.
All right. So you willingly allow yourself to be moved
And you recognize
by Tegan, but not by your wife.
You recognize Tegan, get out from last time she said with the T&D thing. Get out.
And you move away, and you feel the ground back behind you start to rumble a bit. Like you feel the motion of the thing behind. Or when you see the thing start to, inside the hole it's coming out, it starts to kind of grind away at the edges to widen it, and it starts to pull its way down into the room, trying to avoid the fire, but it is not going to get by without getting burned. You know that. It's just too big. And you see the two of them coming running toward you.
All right. I'll try to keep this thing hampered for just one more round, I think, before once they pass, I'm going to run out, I think,
Yeah.
behind them.
Tegan, I have a question. Where's your dynamite?
It's in the room, that's why I'm trying to set it on fire.
Okay. All right. That's kind of what I thought. But I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm assuming webbing is flammable. We
Yeah.
know the Ichor is flammable, and I can't get to the fuse, so I'm just gonna set everything on fire.
Professor Hayes, you see the creature coming down from the ceiling and trying to avoid the fire, but it does do something unusual. Instead of coming after everyone, it seems to be kind of trying to encircle the fire. It's coming down and kind of trying to wrap around if it can.
Damn that worm.
We're going to go back to the top of the order where Father Bartimaeus is running with Child behind Benny.
So while I'm waiting on Benny finding the path, I look back, I see what's going on, and I would also like to try to damper the worm to prevent what it's doing, taking my crucifix and prayer.
Are you putting the girl down?
Holding the girl on my shoulder, one hand like a potato sack,
All right.
other hand has the crucifix.
I'm going to
Did I?
hinder you one for that.
That's
Because
fair.
it is hard to do with that action going on. What were you saying, Benny?
Did when Erwin just went, did Benny also go?
Benny didn't get a turn. Benny gets a turn.
Did he? Benny didn't get it. Oh,
Benny
you're
and
right.
Erwin are in the
I am
same
sorry.
turn.
Right.
Yes.
It's okay.
We're missing
Because
something.
I'm trying to... This little girl is 8 years old, right?
Yes.
Because, like, no, it wouldn't work. I was going to say to, like, but she can't hold on to anything. I was going to say to affix her to Benny, but she can't hold on to anything.
Yeah, she can.
I don't know. You'd have to try it.
No.
She can't hold her,
If she's-
her weight against Father Bartimaeus, but
Right.
if
I'm
her
assuming
weight-
she can't hold her weight against me, like
Yeah.
grab onto my cassock. She's probably not going to be able to hold on to Catamount hair.
Well, like, around like, my neck or something, like here.
We'd still have to secure her somehow.
Yeah, so it wouldn't work. Okay. Anything in the way, or is it just straight shot?
you actually have to zigzag a little bit through to get to where the shelf is. You got to leap up to, or they will have to climb up to. For you, it's just a little bound, and then you'll be up on the
Okay.
ledge.
Well, I'm gonna do that. It's just if there's anything in the way, if I need to do another attack on it, I will. But
Yeah, you were able to find your way through pretty quickly, leap up, and you are where you know the cave is a little beyond here. But you're on the ledge where the cave is.
yeah, okay.
In that case, that does change what Bartimaeus is doing, because he's just going to follow Benny then.
Can you make me an intellect roll, Benny? This is for perception. It is here and stuff and whatnot.
Ooh, okay. It's for perception, you say?
Yes.
Nope, that is stealth, not. The cat is stealth, not senses. Eight. Not bad. 12.
Okay.
It's not enough that I'm going to spend anything
Yeah,
on.
you don't hear anything. So you get up there and
Well, okay. Don't do that because
sometimes you don't hear things or see things. Perception isn't perfect.
okay. Well, I don't want to spend a whole bunch of points to make this stuff work.
Yeah.
So,
Save it. It's fine.
oh, nope, not going to use effort. Nope, 12 is fine. I don't see anything. La da da da.
It's fine to be la-da-da-da-da every now and then. You don't have to see it and know everything.
I don't want to die.
Same. Trying to have that happen.
All right. So you had your turn.
Yes.
Yeah, and we had skipped you. That's why you were doing it. So back to the top, Father Bartimaeus would be going next.
Yep. Following the path that Benny...
So you did see Benny kind of wind a bit through, And as you're coming up, you see why. There are places on the ground. Not only is there ichor, there is like webbing on the ground. And it covers patches in a lot of places. And the webbing blends in quite a bit with the rocks and whatever else the ground is made of here.
So Bartimaeus is going to carefully navigate the path, again, kind of using where Benny went as the touch marks for how to go. And he's calling back to Tegan, Walter, and the professor, to, watch your step. There's webs over here. Don't get caught. Yada, yada.
All right. You get to the ledge, and you have to climb up the ledge to get to the
I put
up.
The girl over first.
All right. It's higher than you can do in one reach. You have to climb a little bit to get up there. You might be able to leap and drop her up there, but not just standing.
So yeah, in that case, I'll do a jump and a push or whatever I need to do to get the little girl on the ledge.
Can it be eased a little bit if I don't know, intrusion or something, to like grab her and like...
Sure, you could use your paws
with my mouth.
Or your mouth to pull it. Well, there's nothing to grab on her with your mouth.
She's not clothed.
Right, she's not clothed.
Oh, she's not.
No.
Yeah, she's not clothed.
Yeah, you could use your paws to pull up.
Well, then I'm not going to bite her.
Yeah. Unless you bite the nape of the neck, and then she'll just go limp. And
No,
but she's limp already.
I'm not gonna...
I mean, that's what a catamount might think.
No, never mind. I'm not going to... Yan.
All right. Can I get... do you have any kind of athletic ability, Father Bartimaeus? No. Just might... Okay, it would be a might check, and you leap up.
I have might.
Yeah, I know. Y'all got
Hopefully
some.
Hopefully it's enough. Let's go ahead and what does a 16 get me, boss?
A 16 gets her to... She sort of... You gently get her to slide onto the ledge, and she is standing in front of a catamount. And Benny, when the girl comes up, she slides up on her back, and her eyes open, and she looks at you, and she smiles a little bit, like just out of unexpectedly, like her eyes just open, and she sees you, and there's this soft little smile that comes on when she sees the fuzzy thing in front of her.
Can I give her like a little like lick on her cheek?
Sure. And she reaches her arm over your shoulder and kind of tries to wrap, and it's not really strong, but you feel her hands kind of grip into your fur as much as they can, and she pulls on your neck with the little bit of strength she's got, and she tries to hug you, it seems like.
I mean, Benny would 100% let it happen and like be a little bit crouched. Nekola is worried as hell that I'm about to get strangled to death. But Benny would 100% let it happen, almost as if she was like not only crouching to let this happen, but like shielding her a little bit while Father Bartimaeus is coming up.
And she whispers to you, you were a girl.
I can't respond,
Nope.
except with a little like purr or something.
Down below, Walter, what are you doing? We're at 13.
So the room is now aflame, correct?
There's a little part in the circle of the worm that is burning. The worm is trying to surround it, trying to use its body maybe to prevent the expansion of the fire, but who knows if that'll work or not.
Okay.
It is
So
also
I'm
not moving
old.
particularly gainly. It has kind of a poor undulation. Its mouth can't seem to close quite right.
Okay, and I was pulled off to one side.
Yes.
Now, I heard the voice of my wife.
You did.
Am I able to, like... Is this some grotesque thing where my wife is inside this fucking worm?
Who knows?
I guess what I'm asking is, do I see any visual...
Any confirmation of
indication that
anything
my
of your
wife
wife? No.
Okay. Do I hear anything else?
No.
I think I'm just gonna first call out. Just, Ellie? Oh, I see.
The thing continues its enrapture of the flame, and then it stops for a moment, and it turns toward you. And you see inside its maw, through the ichor, the face of her just sort of... You only see the ichor, though. You don't see her actual face. You see the ichor covering it. And it pulls back in. And the arms start reaching for you. Can I get a defense roll from you, please?
I'm sorry, what kind of roll?
Defense. It is... You need speed defense. This thing is trying to grab you.
Okay,
As worms are wont to do. Worms with arms.
I have no effort left in my body.
Okay.
The only
Hindered
thing
by
that I
one
have
step.
to ease this roll is +1 to armor from Wrap.
All right.
And that is a 14 on the dice.
All right. So some of the hands stung up. You know, there are bees all over on these things, and they're stung, and they're taking damage. But a couple of the hands grab your shirt and your arm, and they start trying to pull you into the hug.
Caress.
Can I get a
what?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
you're at 13. So when they grip surprisingly tight, the hands that got you. And you feel a tug. And then you hear, you can join me now. And it starts to pull you in. Tegan, you hear all this, and you see his arm like get grabbed. Shirt and his arm by, two different hands got him. It was 13, so we're now at, it's the worm's turn. It grabbed you. Tegan, the other thing you notice is that when it stopped trying to wrap around, that the fire started to catch some of the ichor on the puddles off to the side, and you know that will make it impossible for it to just surround the fire, but that is not going to happen. So who's at 10? Benny and Erwin are at 10. Actually, Walter, you actually have an action. I forgot. You were attacked, but you still have an action.
Okay.
Speaking is not necessarily an action.
I don't know.
It can
Professor
be.
Hayes has one hell of a speaking voice.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna speak back again to the worm. To Walter is so very conflicted, and so is Robby.
Excellent. Then
On
I'm
the
doing
one
my
hand-
job right.
Yeah, yes, you are. You were doing a wonderful job, Scott, and I hate it. On the one hand, Robby thinks that this is a trap. On the other hand, Walter sort of thinks this is a trap, but also doesn't know where his wife may be because his daughter was in a freaking cocoon. So
in a root.
In a root. Sorry, it was sort of cocoon-esque.
Yes.
I think I'm going to reach into the ichor and I'm going to say, "You come with me!" And I'm going to reach around and see if I can feel my wife in there.
So, I can't say it. So you're going to reach in and feel inside the ichor for form.
I'm just trying to feel for my wife's form, and if I find it, I'm going to follow it up with the
make me an intellect roll.
That is a... Oh, okay. That is a 13 on the dice, and I am also trained in both finding or noticing small details as well as identifying objects.
You feel a shape that could be potential, maybe?
When I notice that, I am going to... you can choose which sounds better, Scott, here. I'm going to either choose to use draw item or quick bind it in an attempt to grab this thing and pull it from the maw.
Well, quick draw is usually used for small items.
Right, yeah, draw item is for a loose object within short range
and
carried in one hand.
This is too big to bind normally. You had used all of your effort to bind it before.
Not to be super duper technical. If it's my wife's form, which is smaller than me.
I'm going to give you a draw roll. Draw item.
Okay. That is a nat 20.
Sweet.
So from the ichor, the hand taken when this is happening, the other arms start to wrap Walter, and he reaches into the ichor as deep as he can without going head in. His head is almost to the ichor, and he pulls out hard, and he pulls out a head covered in ichor with strings that wrap back in and connect. And when you lift it, you realize it is your wife's head, but it ain't got no body. And there are sinew of this worm inside of it. And it looks at you and says, "Walter, you found me." And the ichor drips over its mouth. And
that is the worst nat 20 I've ever rolled.
I knew it. As soon as he said you can do a draw, I was like, no, it's going to be a body part.
Oh,
no.
Just put it back, Walter. Just put it back.
And you can feel the tug from the sinew trying to pull it back in. And that sinew is more like plant sinew than human sinew. And I don't want to be there. Take me with you. And it's covered in ichor, and it's slowly a little bit of its gray flesh is revealed. Its hair matted in the gross black ink likeness. Tegan, you see this too, and God, this would be a good time for a sanity roll if this were Call of Cthulhu. Or just a loss.
Quick question.
Yep.
Is it a true is it my wife's head, or is it like the form of my wife's head? Or
It's covered in this ichor. It is just impossible to know unless you were to take it out and clean it up and all that.
You have your daughter?
I don't know if I have anything left on my turn, to be honest.
You actually, I'm going to leave you there for a moment.
Okay. Yeah, let me stew in this for a minute.
Erwin, what are you doing? You and Benny are up. You both have your actions. You actually probably see that, Erwin. Benny doesn't.
Thank God.
I don't even know. Do I see the dynamite anywhere? Is it like about to...
You see the fire reaching and coming very close to where the dynamite box is.
Oh boy. Okay.
Time to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna say in my most persuasive manner to Tegan and Walter, using inside voice, so mentally, that this place is about to blow. We've got to hightail it out of here, and try to give them an asset in any escape attempt they have to do. Essentially, help them.
I like to think Tegan responds to it out loud with, "That's what I."
And I'll take some movement to start running if I have any.
Yep, I'll give you movement.
Cool.
Tegan, you see Walter is... I'll be kind and say in a state of confusion and not particularly dumbfounded, perhaps is the appropriate word. Not sure what to do. It is not your action, though. It is actually Benny's action. I'll get back to you, but I just want you to know that you see that.
Is holding an action a thing that I can do?
Yes.
Okay, so I would like to, and this may be kind of how it turns out for the rest of this scene, is Benny's going to hold for Bartimaeus to get up onto the ledge and then move.
So you're going to wait for Bartimaeus to get up before you
Yeah.
do anything else.
Do anything else. I'm still crouched over.
You are being
Evie?
petted.
I think Evie is the girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
Evie
I'm
is
still
just
over
looking in your
Evie.
eyes and just kind of feeling through your fur like a kid would do with a bunny or something.
I want to ask to I want to ask to perceive if she's true, but no, Benny would not. Benny fully thinks this is the little girl, and for who knows, probably is the little girl. I am super pessimistic. But I am crouching over the girl, holding for Bartimaeus to get up there, and then I want to move with Bartimaeus.
All right. Tegan.
So I think Hagen is immediately going to latch around Walter and just be like, "Sony's alive, Walter! Your daughter needs you! What are you doing?" And I'm going to use Fetch to take a piece of the fiery ichor and pop it in this thing's mouth, and then just drag Walter as far back as I can.
Can I get a defense roll from you, please?
Yeah.
When you go to grab Walter to pull him out.
That's a 14.
So you go and you grab Walter and you start pulling him out, and you realize as you're pulling that hands have grabbed onto your shoulders from both sides also, as you've kind of come into this maw that was trying to close and wasn't able to, and Walter is holding on to something that is pulling back against his hold, and he is being pulled away. Can I get a strength roll from you, please?
Would the fact that I just put fire in this thing's mouth help
Yes,
at all?
I'm going to give that.
Okay.
I'm going to ease it. Actually, with fire in its mouth, I'm going to ease it 2.
Maybe the aid for my turn. I don't know if that would count too.
Oh yes, and yours. So there's another. Eased by 3. You got this, unless you roll me a 1.
So that's gonna be another 14.
All right. So it is pulling and it tears at your clothes and scratches at your arms, and you do feel scratches as it comes across, and it tears part of your sleeves off, and you're able to pull Walter out. Walter, are you continuing to hold on to your wife?
As much as I've been stewing, I don't know. On the one hand, I'm thinking like, and then on the other hand, like, give me my fucking wife's head. I think I'm gonna go for the latter, and I'm going to attempt to rip the head away from the worm, because at the very least, I need closure.
All right.
But what if your daughter sees the head?
Oh, she ain't gonna see the head.
So can you roll me a... Are you using a weapon or just strength? Just ripping it off?
I don't believe I have any weapons.
All right.
So I'm just gonna be
Give
strengthening.
me a strength check.
I'm gonna use an XP because that's not good.
Was it a 1?
It was a 2.
Oh, darn.
Well, it was meant to be, because that's the second 2 in a row.
All right.
XP.
So,
XP.
Tegan, you pull him out, but he goes like a plank, holding on to his wife's head, and you are pulling him out by his legs and his torso, and he ain't letting go, and you feel this maw is starting to close down.
Walter, you gotta remember, Evie, she needs you. She can't be without both parents. That's not great. Trust me. You don't want to.
And you suddenly hear...
We need to go. We need to go. Hold up, Dad's not a great dad. Come on.
And we're going to go back to the top of the order. Father Bartimaeus, you are at the ledge there. Can you make me a defense roll?
Okay. Being 18, boss.
All right. So you feel that there are like webs stuck onto your feet, and it looks like some of these things had... And you see them slinging this web, like spewing it out across your legs, and you start climbing up and you feel it, but there wasn't enough to quite hold on, but it is considerably strong webbing. And you get to the top, and you see you see the catamount, the Benny catamount, in kind of an embrace with Evie. Sort of, Evie's eyes are just looking at her like this is the most amazing thing ever seen to her.
Okay, cool. So, I'm going to take one of my last remaining silver nails. I'm going to use that kind of like a pen knife and try to just like cut the webbing through off of my legs to make it easier to move and walk.
All right. So you're able to cut it away and get it off. So you clean that off, and it's gooey and webby, and it's kind of gross. It's even wet.
Yeah, great. So get up, make my way over, turn over. What do I see as I look back down into the bowl of the worm?
You see the worm's maw closing down on half of Walter, who is pulled out like a plank, Tegan pulling at him, and Erwin is halfway, and we'll get to what he's doing in a moment. And on the other side, you see that there is a fuse lid on the dynamite that is now starting to run.
Fantastic. Love it. So, let me see.
You know what? Before you make an action, Grimm, Scott, can I make an intrusion?
You may make a player intrusion, whatever you would like.
I would like to spend an XP to use sudden vision as an intrusion. A flash of insight provides you with a clear answer or suggests a course of action with regard to an urgent question, problem, or obstacle you're facing. I want to know if that is my wife's head.
So when you do use this ability, the head, you pull it so tight that it comes face to face, and it gets weaker for a moment and it hits you face on, and the ichor splashes and you feel it kiss you, and then plant-like things, tendrils, try and reach into you. That should be enough vision.
That's not what I asked. And I think as a reaction, I'm going to let go of the head.
All right. That's what you needed, I guess. That's all it took. Tendrils to the mouth. And Tegan, you fall back, and with Walter falling to the floor in front, the mouth closes down hard. You hear the sound, Walter, of nearly an entire hive of bees die.
That hurts both Walter and Robby at the same time. Ouch.
I know. And you see off to one side the fuse on the dynamite getting shorter. Now, what were you going to do, Erwin? You saw
running, and I'm oblivious to the traps.
No, it's Bartimaeus' turn.
Yeah, we
I thought that it was still my turn.
Oh, nice. Good.
Because Walter did the intrusion on my turn.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. You're right.
I
It
didn't
is your
want you
turn.
to use an
Right.
action at my expense.
Well, all good. This just changes the action that I do now. So, earlier when I was pouring holy oil, is it fair to assume that either my cuffs or pant leg or something got drenched in that holy oil?
Sure, I'll give you that.
Perfect. I am going to tear off my bottom cuff. I have a lighter. I'm going to light the pair of pant and throw it down at the webbing at the foot of this to see if I can't burn it away and make it easier for them to get up here.
All right. Yeah, I'm holding fire. I think any range thing is a speed roll, so make me a speed roll.
Can I burn an XP to turn it into an intellect roll for doing
You
what
can
I'm
burn an
doing?
XP to get another roll.
That's fair. Won't need it. It's a 16 on the die anyways.
All right. So it catches in the wind for a moment. In the wind, I don't know if there's any wind in here. It's dead, but it flutters down and then it lands on some of the webs and then it runs across, almost like they covered much of the floor. And those things go up in flames so fast and they burn off so fast. You even see bits of white webbing sort of floating away in the air.
In the name of God, run!
Yeah, Benny fully is like gonna growl at you to get moving. Like that was the point of getting up here.
Right. So then, yes,
Run!
I know. I needed to make sure they could also follow us. Benny reaches down, and I'm trying to very gently pick up Evie without startling her.
Yeah. She's startled because her mind is completely enthralled by the catamount that she's loving on.
Evie Gwenin, that's you, right? Your name is Evie Gwenin.
Yeah, I'm Evie.
Hi, Evie. My name is Bartimaeus. I am an acquaintance of your father's. We're here to help get you out, okay?
Why are we in the dark? I don't want to be in the dark no
We're
more.
getting out of the dark right now. I need you to just take it a second for me. Just kind of adjust. Your father's coming right behind me.
Where's
Can
my
you put your
cat?
arms?
Where's my cat?
She's coming with us. Don't worry, she's coming with us. Can you wrap your arms around my neck? Right. I need you to wrap your arms around my neck as hard as you can.
She does.
Okay. And we'll go.
And you start running.
Yep.
I assume that Benny is running also.
Yes, Benny is.
Yeah, I mean,
In
we'll
front
get to that
of.
moment, but you can be out ahead. In fact, we ought to just automatically flip your two numbers, but I'm not going to do it because of combat reasons. But Walter, what are you doing now that you have fallen prone, knocked over Tegan is with your being pulled back and seeing the fuse going?
I am going to do as much as I can to get myself and Tegan out of there.
Make me
Catch back up to my daughter. So
make me a speed roll.
And I'm sorry.
Speed roll, please.
Oh, come on.
1.